It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, here on S3. And of course, did you know that diabetes is the #1 killer of women in South Africa and the second leading cause of death of men in SA? We need to change these stats. We have to make a real difference. The only way we do that is use our platforms. How about TV? Let's do it today. World Diabetes Day is observed on the 14th of November, and we are joined by two advocates to encourage South Africa to hashtag Wear blue for diabetes on this very special day. And it's not about wearing blue exclusively. It's about knowing more, learning the facts, chatting to friends and family who have been diagnosed. But more importantly, showing the world that you are not alone in diabetes. There's information and there's care for you. And that's why Bridget and Helga are here for us. Hello.
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 Thanks for having us. Happy World Diabetes Day.
I'm wearing blue.
You are. Well done.
Yes.
We're impressed.
Thanks.
And you're
you.
showing some leg.
Thank you,
That's
sir. I'm
awesome.
also showing a bit of leg as well. I need to just keep up with you, and you're most welcome. So, you know what? There are some alarming stats. And Bridget, I'm going to start with you with regard to the statistics around diabetes. I know it's not easy looking at those and thinking, sure, when I hear #1 killer of women in South Africa,
Insane.
in a country like South Africa where you hear other stats around other causes, this is very scary. Why is it like that?
I mean, it's a great question. I don't think there's an easy answer.
Not at all.
Diabetes is a very complex condition, and it's interestingly a condition that you can't just take a pill and then it gets better, unfortunately. So there are lots of things that feed into it, and it's diet and lifestyle and medication. But one of the big reasons that so many people are dying of diabetes is that we don't know the symptoms. No one is getting diagnosed early enough. So 1 in 2 South Africans are living with diabetes and don't know it.
What?
Yeah. Half the people with diabetes in South Africa are undiagnosed. And so then what happens is, if you're diagnosed early with type 2 diabetes, which is 90% of people, if you're diagnosed early enough, you can either prevent it by changing your lifestyle, losing weight if you need to, or you can manage it, live a perfectly happy, healthy life. And instead what's happening is that people are getting diagnosed so late that they're having long-term complications like amputations, blindness, kidney failure, heart disease, and dying of it. Diabetes isn't a lethal condition. So we all just need to know the 5 symptoms, get checked early and often. I'm going to throw the 5 symptoms at you right now. Just in case.
Are you doing it right now?
I'm doing it.
Okay, wait,
you ready?
We need a moment here. We need a moment.
Okay, they're coming. Know the 5.
Right, and also I want you to focus on your TV right now, all right? Bridget's about to drop the 5.
Dropping the 5.
Okay, get the pen out, the piece of paper. Let's listen.
Needing to pee a lot, especially at night. Thirst, hunger, weight loss, and exhaustion. The thing is, you might not have all of those, and you might only have a combination of them. So if there's any doubt in your mind, you can go and get a simple finger stick blood test. You can get it at any clinic, pharmacy, your local clicks. It's very inexpensive. It takes 5 minutes. You can find out right away. So we really encourage people to get tested.
I think let's stumble on the reason that there are 50% of these individuals who are not diagnosed that have diabetes. Go through the symptoms once again. I just want to test something. Go through them again.
Needing to pee a lot.
All right. That is
at night.
most of us. Right. Let's go. Continue.
Thirst.
I mean, we're hitting
It's
summer.
hot,
It
I know.
seems like a regular, normal thing. I'm thirsty. Okay, continue.
Hunger, but like insatiable hunger.
Right.
So you can't fill yourself. But if you're eating the wrong kind of food, then you're hungry all the time anyway, if you're not having enough protein. Weight loss. So weight loss and hunger are an odd combination.
Very
but
strange.
Also don't show up in people all the time. And then exhaustion. And I mean, we're all exhausted.
Well,
right?
that's the thing. So if you look at the 5 symptoms, that's a Monday.
I know.
And that's why I think that it's important for us to focus on these and actually really monitor ourselves so that we can get diagnosed.
And get an annual finger stick blood test.
Yeah.
In November, lots of clinics and pharmacies offer it for free. It doesn't take long. And then you'll know straight away if it's something to be concerned about or if you can wait till next year.
So now, let's talk about what life's like, Helga, for somebody with diabetes. I mean, what's life like for you? I mean, just so that we know exactly what a window is to what you go through every day.
Yeah, I think, you know, initially, when you're diagnosed, it's a bit of disbelief.
Yeah.
And you kind of grapple with, so what is life going to be like for me now? And what does that mean for me?
Yes.
And I think for me, essentially, because I never spoke about my diagnosis for so many years, you carry an emotional load. you know. So then you have something like burnout because you're emotionally burnt out because you are sidestepping conversations, or when it comes up you have the cringe factor, or when you're at a dinner party or being offered a drink, etc., you kind of, you know, no thanks, you know, but because you haven't disclosed, you haven't. So initially that was what it was like for me, and also during having gestational diabetes initially, you know, I was carrying my first baby. And so, you know, I sat with a lot of shame and guilt.
Even though it's not, there's no need for it.
There was no need for it, but that's what I experienced during the time. And it was only until, you know, many years and doing a lot of the emotional work, I suppose, where I just, you know, I owned it. But it took work to get to that point. And so by owning it, I was able to reach self-acceptance about it. And that then led to me going, well, okay, well, if I'm that comfortable with it, it's time to speak about it, right?
Yes.
And so that's what I did, and I started speaking about it. And the first time I did was actually in 2017, when my physician asked me, saying, it was World Diabetes Day, he says, oh, Els, don't you want to get out there? And I was like, I don't know, eh? And I did, and from going from 5 people to going into a room of 100 people, going, hi, my name's
now
Olga.
you're on national TV.
And now, yeah.
Yes, yes, it's national television now.
Yeah.
All games changed a little bit.
A little, just a little for me. And so I think it's important that one understands that when you are living with diabetes, yes, there is a fundamental shift in terms of how one actually starts living your life. So what's your new normal? And my new normal involves a regime. So, you know, I wake up in the morning, I always have, one thing Bridget didn't mention, it's very important, hydration. Water is so important when you have diabetes. Well, it's generally important, you know, we punt it all the time. But hydration is so important when you're living with diabetes. So I'll normally have a glass of water when I wake up in the morning. I normally have my medication, you know, set out. So that's one of the first things I do. I spend some time, because emotional well-being is so important. Again, mental well-being. I can't emphasize it enough how important it is. And so I have practices that I do in the morning. That just ground me, because again, managing one's stress levels is so important, because again, there's so many factors that impact diabetes and managing your blood sugar levels during the day. And so I suppose I say a little easier for someone living with type 2, because in the type 1 situation, you know, we don't all wear the devices, which is called a CGM, a continuous glucose monitoring device.
Here.
You know, we will not go into the branding at all, but that's called a glucose.
Just show us again. I want to get a shot on that so you can see, because you're obviously just superhuman.
So this means I don't have to prick my finger anymore. I can just, this is the cheapest, most affordable option. I can scan over it. Other ones send readings to your phone.
Biotechnology. Wow.
But it's not for SnapScan, eh?
Oh, is it not? I thought you could pay. Okay, that'll be good.
Not SnapScan. But I think what's important is that many people, you were asking about, I think you were mentioning about, so what does it mean? So why is the statistic 1 in 2?
Yes.
Why are 4.2, according to the International Diabetes Federation, 4.2 million people already living with diabetes? And that's because of things like accessibility to healthcare. It's things like, I'm speaking about mental health, but our behavioral changes that we have to do. Because again, stigma and discrimination plays a part in that. You know, I felt quite stigmatized, you know, in terms of, you know, how the media portrays it, how our friends and our family are socialized around diabetes.
But not anymore.
But not anymore.
Well, this is the great thing about us being on national TV and talking about it now, is that what you've done so beautifully, Bridget and Helga, is that you've given us a platform to have a conversation. So we are going to wear blue for diabetes. We're going to continue talking about it. We're going to get the facts, and we're going to reshape the understanding of it, because the stats are unacceptable in a country where we have such great information provision from people like you. So
sweetlife.org.za.
Say it again.
Sweetlife.org.za.
Sweetlife.org.za. We're going to go click on, we're going to get the facts, and we're going to turn this thing around together. Wear blue for diabetes on World Diabetes Day. Thank you so much, ladies. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Anytime.
Thank you.